Good day, viewers. My name is Ayuba John Bassa. I am presenting a paper on comparative study of indoor environmental performance of church buildings in North-East Nigeria. In Nigeria today, Christianity has experienced upsurge of churches in large cities. As a result, there is an increased demand for church buildings to the extent that Nigeria now has the highest number of churches per capita in the world. The seating capacity of most recently approved built churches in Nigeria ranges from 2,000 to 550,000 worshippers at once. As well as it may be, the concern of this paper is the quality of indoor environmental performance of the church buildings regarding the comfort and the well-being of worshippers. For in a high-performing church indoor environment, health is preserved, comfort is achieved, and worship flows. On the other hand, discomfort and adverse health impact, such as sick building syndrome, building-related illness, environmental sensitivity, low productivity, and absenteeism occur. The US EPA reports that indoor air pollutants causes 32,000 cancer cases annually in USA, 50% of all diseases, and 90% of cold and flus, especially in park gatherings. This paper considers church as a park gatherings. RICS also claim that receptors and carriers meet 80% to 90% of the time indoor. To verify the existence of these indices in churches, Monica and Flori Emilian discovered them in some Poland churches and Katatuo Monastery. According to Lilitaria, these indoor parameters are also inadequate in Nigerian churches and are concerns of this paper. This paper aims to comparatively investigate church buildings' indoor environmental performance with a view to developing design guidelines to improve the environmental performance of churches in North-East Nigeria. The objectives are to determine the indoor environmental indices that affect the performance of church buildings in North-East Nigeria, to ascertain the user's perception of the indoor environmental performance of church building in North-East Nigeria. Research question that this paper hope to answer is: how do the indoor environmental conditions of different church buildings in North-East Nigeria compare? This paper has examined some recently written articles on Nigeria church architecture and discovered that they do not pay much attention to the indoor environmental performance of churches. This has created gaps. The gaps are lack of awareness of the current performance of churches' indoor environmental indices in Nigeria. No well-established modeling framework captures the current performance of churches' indoor indices in Nigeria. An examination into the indoor environmental performance of Nigeria churches is just starting. In light of these considerations, the focus of this research is on the indoor environmental performance of church buildings in North-East Nigeria for the comfort and well-being of worshippers. The scope: temperature, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, humidity, particulate matters, formaldehyde, total volatile organic compound, radon, noise, light, odor, dew point, ventilation, and dampness. The materials, effects of parameters on comfort and health of worshippers. Particulate matters. What is particulate matters? They are dust, dirt, harmattan, and smoke. How do they affect the comfort of worshipper? By sneezing, eye, nose, and throat irritation. How do they affect the health of worshippers? Cough, lung disease, irregular heartbeat. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness in air. The discomfort it causes when it is high, sweating. When it is low, it causes freezing. How does it affect the health of worshippers? Heart cramps and exhaustion. Noise is sound intensity It interferes with concentration during church service, and it causes noise-induced hearing loss, heart disease, stress, both physical and psychological. Ventilation methodology. The research method is comparative. Philosophical assumption is pragmatic. The research approach is equal status mixed method. The research design is experimental design using triangulation. The population of study is the 5 Christian Association of Nigeria CAN blocks. The sampling method is purposive. The sample size are 10 churches from 3 states of North-East Nigeria: Borno, Adamawa, and Taraba. This is the research area. These are the indoor environmental quality meters used for the measurements. This is the permissible exposure limits of research parameters, data analysis and discussions of result. Objective 1, to determine the indoor comfort indices that affects the performance of church buildings. A1 in church Maiduguri. These are the parameters during the dry season. The readings is the result of rainy season, and LCCN EOLA, dry season and rainy season. The next objective is ascertain the user's perception of the indoor environmental performance of church buildings in North-East Nigeria. The summary of qualitative results says that dry air, hot weather, dry weather, speaker volume are the highest that are negatively impacting on the worshippers in North-East Nigeria. Objective 3, compare the existing indoor environmental performance between churches and internationally established standard and guidelines. Yeah, it has been compared with the standard. The results are high performance 50%, medium performance 7%, low performance good 43%. The results were ranked, and the highest negatively impactful on worshippers are the hot temperature, carbon dioxide, lighting, and ventilation, while the best is the dampness. There is no church that has dampness. While you can see the location of the discomfort, the start of the discomfort, the period of discomfort, the season of discomfort, when discomfort is worse. What is the period of recovery? The highest is 0 to 30 minutes. The worshippers recover themselves when they are out of the worship place. Objective 4, develop additional design guidelines for an improved indoor environmental performance. In developing it, we have to take care of temperature, carbon dioxide, relative humidity, by creating wall, thermal, and water insulation, roof thermal insulation, and then running veranda, sheltering arcades. Neem trees are the best for that area to reduce the heat, and then Bermuda grass. Also, natural daylighting and ventilation is needed. Energy efficient window glass should be used. High level projected windows or combined ventilation system. Have indoor humidifier during the dry season when harmattan was high, and ventilation louvers is also recommended. And sound intensity, to reduce it, all speakers have to be hung up, and sound limiters needs to be fixed to protect the worshippers from radon sealing. All radon pathways needs to be done. And then to curb the carbon monoxide, the placement of the power plant generator needs to be done properly. For dampness, or a water seal needs to be used on roof and foundation. These paper findings demonstrate a need for high-performing indoor environmental churches in North-East Nigeria. Recommendations, their implementations. Contribution to knowledge. This paper has established 6 parameters that are low performing, 1 parameter that is medium performing, while 7 parameters that are highly performing. Thank you and God bless.